What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Beautiful day, beautiful weather, beautiful moments, and yeah, beautiful moments. Big thing. We got a lot of things coming up, man. And if you're gonna talk about beautiful moments, you're gonna talk about one of the greatest fights of this year so far: Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul. This fight is finally gonna happen, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like it. I hope it is. I hope Tommy does not come up with an excuse again. Please, no more excuses. Step in that ring, walk your 2 feet in the ring, step in there, and get to cracking, baby. We've been trying to get this answer for the past 2 years, and they have made a ton of excuses and a ton of reasons, and we just don't. It's like a fight that it's not destined to pretty much happen, but now it looks like we are really close to it. We are literally super close to it. About 16 days from the fight. That is amazing. And I just can't wait. And then on this topic, as you can tell by the title, will this fight even be close? I don't know, man. By the looks of it, it can be close, but it cannot be close. Because there's a lot of questions that we don't know. And this fight will answer a lot of those questions. So stay really tuned for the fight. Make sure everybody watches it. And yeah, it's going to be fireworks, man. It's going to be entertaining. A lot of questions will be answered. We're going to see if Jake Paul can earn the boxer title. I feel like he's a fighter. I feel like he's a hard worker. Very good fighter. Huge problem. He's an alpha in the influencer boxing scene. But is he actually a boxer to compete with boxers? Well, this fight will earn him that title if he beats a Fury, a born fighter. Fury, all he knows is to throw punches. Literally, the whole family, for years and years and years, hundreds of years, all they do is fight. Fight. This guy was born to be a fighter. He was supposed to be the prospect, the next big thing, and fell out doing reality shows or I don't know what he was doing, modeling. But claims that he still has it, that he's still the guy, that he is not a joke, and that he will get in the ring and win a title in the next couple years. He thinks that he can win titles. So will that happen, or will it not happen? I don't know, honestly. I don't know. For me, I think Jake Paul can really beat him. It will not be close at all if Jake Paul lands that right hook on him. I don't know if his chin is that good. Even let alone his power. He could have knocked out terrible fighters. I thought these fighters were. I thought they were gonna, because he's a Fury, and he does that for a living. I thought they were gonna put him against, for this first 6 fights, I thought they were gonna put him against decent amateurs on the come up, like at least with a couple, like at least 3-0 fighters at least. My man's fighting 3-24 fighters. They have 30 losses in the record, so Tommy has not fought anybody good. In my opinion, officially, like on the record, he's not fought a person with a name. He's fought a bunch of garbage bags, literally taxi drivers. He's not fought anybody good. Whereas Jake Paul has fought people who will kill all the guys that Tommy fought. Anderson Silva would beat every single guy that Tommy has fought, without a doubt. 1,000%, I can put anything on it. So I don't know if he's legit. So like, it's a big thing. I think Tommy Fury is a big thing for him, even though he's a fighter like that. But he doesn't have the experience against somebody who's really good. And Jake Paul has been with a lot of good people. But training does help a lot. I don't know, man. But from the recordings, Tommy does not look good. He does not look like he will do good. But will his boxing IQ show against Jake Paul? He might not look good on video and fight a bunch of garbage bags and do terrible. But if you fight somebody who learned boxing in 3 years, could you easily tell, even if they're not working harder than you, will his IQ still help him, like, show the big difference? We don't know that question yet. But I really hope that this fight is not an upset. I believe it's going to be a good fight. We've been waiting for years for this. I believe it's 8 rounds, 10 rounds. I don't think it goes distance. I really don't think it goes distance. I can see a stoppage, man. Either the IQ of Tommy Fury is really big, and as it should be, I think on paper, on book, as it should be, Tommy destroys Jake Paul. On book, like facts, like history, everything, Tommy wins 100,000%. But that's not the thing, because Jake Paul has put himself to the test and fought hard fights for this first fights. So even though Tommy's been boxing since 6, he did not throw himself in the deep end and fought fighters, even though they're not boxers. But Jake Paul threw himself in the deep end for his first 7 fights. He fought Anderson Silva. Even he's old, but he's still got it, man. So Jake Paul tested himself more, which is more harder to experience. I think Jake Paul has that, so that could play a big role. And the big crowd and the big pressure on Tommy that he will lose his name if he loses this fight, which it might get in his head. And I can't. I think I'm trying so hard to think of a world where Tommy loses. I can't think of his reaction. I can't think what they will be saying to each other after the fight. I just can't think of it. That's why I'm waiting for this fight to happen so much, because I know it can happen, but I just can't think of how it's gonna look. Will he stay in Saudi? Will he change his name? I don't know. Jake Paul loses. I mean, he still can fight influencers or other people. But yeah, he can still fight. Tommy, I don't know if he can still fight, man. Losing to Jake Paul from a family that fights, I might just go ahead and hang up the gloves if Tommy loses. Hang up the gloves. Sign a deal with Misfits. Start fighting influencers or Pretty Boy again. Rematch Pretty Boy. I don't know, man. Hang up the gloves. Don't think of a championship belt if you lose against Jake Paul, because you've been doing this for a long time, and on paper you should win this fight. And it's embarrassing if he doesn't win. He has to win. And I don't know, man. I can't answer those questions. It's going to be fireworks. That's why everybody needs to tune in and watch this fight. Sunday, February the 26th. It's going to be fireworks, guys. And I cannot wait to see what actually happens. And part of me wants Jake Paul to win, because you know what I want. I want the big fight. I want Jake Paul against KSI at the end of the year. I want both of those guys to win all their fights until their big fight to see who's the best. That's my pick. I think Jake Paul's going to win. I think it's going to be closer than people think. I think Tommy should, he should hold Jake Paul to a big, he should hold him off really big, and it should be a really close fight, as it should happen. But who knows what happens? Let me know down below in the comments. What do you think is going to happen? Will this be a close fight? What round, stoppage, or distance, or a draw? Let me know what you think is going to happen, and I will see you guys in the next video.